Mother Nature, she does like to keep us busy, that's for sure. Yep, all these stakes are laid right over. Pipes down around the corner here. Hey, she's ugly looking, that's for sure. We had a pretty good super storm of winds this summer, and been putting this off, but we got some work to do over here. We got a huge tree uprooted right here in front of me. I'll show you. Right there. That came down on our wet dry. Wet dry's on the ground here for probably about 500-600 feet. Pretty decent mess to say the least, but nothing that can't be fixed. So I got to assess the situation here and figure out what we're going to need. Definitely loosened up. I think we're going to cut these things and move them over here, and come right down through here with them to a tree down there. I think I'm going to end up tearing this whole mess right down. I've got to reroute these things and get better pitch on them, get them higher up there at the other end. It's just a flat area here. It's tough. Well, if I had it my way, I'd put a pump house right up here at the foot of the hill and pump the sap down, but there's no electric up here. It's just a tough spot, so we have to make do with what we have. So we'll look this over a little bit more here, figure out what we're going to need, and then we'll start fixing it. But we do have a pretty good mess on our hands. All right, so I went and got a bunch of things, figured out how we're going to fix this. So we're going to run all new high tensile down through the whole center of the woods here. Easiest way to fix it. So went and got a bunch of high tensile. We're going to start putting some high tensile up now, get it all side tied up tight, then we'll start putting tubing on. That's some nasty stuff right there.
How many feet's this?
No idea. They don't have a footage. Probably 500. Now we're going to start walking. Hold on, don't get ahead of ourselves. This is high tensile. This ain't like the other stuff. This stuff gets kinky and it'll fly. Yeah, we can go right down. We're walking this line down through, picking it, just kind of eyeballing a path. This should unroll pretty good, this stuff. You don't have to do anything back here. You just sit there and watch your stuff, Red. So why I'm rerouting this is because my old line, I didn't really have any trees to side tie. This system's like 6 years old. Way better technology, and I learned a lot more since I hung that stuff. So I'm going to run this and attach it just like I did the new woods we've been working on. So trying to use as many trees as we can to hold it up. All right, so Grandpa, you went down and found a piece of pipe. Actually found smaller stuff down there, huh?
Yeah, that's small stuff.
Oh, that's nice. That's the old 1/2 inch right there. This is what the lateral mains are in this woods. They're small. So we use 1 inch in the new woods, but this old woods is 1/2 inch, so it's a big difference. So we're gonna cut this off, wrap it around a tree, and go to the other end with that roll, and we'll have this wire up in no time.
That's the easy part.
There's that. I don't need to take them out. They're staying in. They never get them out, growing right into the tree. This one wrap around a tree like we've been doing. All right, so we're gonna wrap this around a tree with some pipe, just like we did in the new woods. Get the elevation right. We could raise this up a little bit. It's a side pipe that I'm a little bit worried about. Right where my thumb is. I don't trust him cutting things.
Well, I did cut myself the other day. Good. Come think about it. On your chain.
So we would have been done for the year, but
I think you're doing next year's work right here.
Mother Nature keeps us busy.
This is next year's work.
No, we ain't gonna have. We'll be able to walk away from this after this.
You wanted it straightened out. There you go.
So there's 2 ways to anchor into a tree. You can do the eyelet method right there, but as you can see how the tree's growing in around that, like so. Over the course of time, this will plug your hole. Or you can wrap it around a tree, and they complain that girdles a tree, but I think you get longer life out of this setup than you do that setup. So I don't know which one's the right way. Either way works. So then I'll put a couple wires on this. Hopefully these are the right wires. They say they are. Looks like they are. I'm gonna raise this up a little bit, like right about here. So yeah, we got a big mess in here. It's worse than I thought it was gonna be. It's not something that's gonna get done in 1 or 2 or 3 days. Probably gonna take us a good 4 or 5 days to fix it all right. But all right, so yeah, put our second wire on there. which is someplace like right about there. Or leave this one right here like that. Now we got to put the other, we're all out at high tensile already. We went out 500 feet. So I got another 500-foot roll. We're going to go down to the other end by the pump house down there. And I'll pull that by hand back up to meet this one. And then we'll make that connection, and then we'll take the four-wheeler down there and pull it all tight. As tight as we can get it, wrap around a tree, and we'll start side tying this section. This is 1,000 foot long, so.
Yeah, remember, I used to be a pitcher. I can throw harder than you can. Still. So don't do something that you're gonna get in trouble for. Don't go be crying to your daddy when I get through throwing snowballs at you.
Oh yeah.
Put a hole right through you.
All right, so we're down to the pump house. We got the other roll on right here. So yeah, hook on the, I'm gonna grab the other end of this and walk it up 500 feet and hook on the one that we ran out the first time. Put 2 wires around it, come back here. We'll tighten it to that anchor tree. Now we can start side tying these. Look for those.
They're mine.
This is where I think you always make your mistake. You pull out the wrong one.
That. You see who does that work?
Let's see if that comes out of there. Yep. All right. I'll be back in 10 minutes. You got that on there?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Pull your winch up, hook it on there. I don't think you got enough out. Try to back out. Just hook it up and then we'll back it up a little bit. Got it?
Yep.
Our problem is we can't get the four-wheeler straight in line with the tree here.
It'll work, I'm telling you.
So we're gonna have to pull. It's gonna pull against this tree. So not really how we like to do it, but that's why we started this tubing first. That way we can wrap it around the tree. Thing here, that come by that, Brian? We'll just take this out for now.
You gotta go up there?
You gotta get that a little bit higher. You wanna see this existing line coming in? Well, yeah, right up in there, I'm thinking. The more we can get a little higher here, the better.
You gotta go up there, don't you?
Yeah, so you know what you're doing here?
Yeah.
Tighten a little bit, slide the tube, tighten it a little bit, slide the tube. All right, I'm gonna go up the other end, I'll call you. All right, so I got it tight down on the other end. Try to feed this back around this side of it. Right about up in here. We got a real mess going on here. If this tree ever fails, we're in big trouble. One-man operation, Brian. All right, so it's getting late in the day here. We're about halfway down through 1,000 feet, probably 500 feet or better of side ties, tiebacks done. So going home for today. We'll come back in here tomorrow. All right, so back in here this morning, making good progress. The old man's got to cut a tree down quick. I'm gonna show you some otter tracks over here. It's not every day you see one of those.
Good.
Yep. We got to pull this wire over tighter, so it's up against this tree right here. I'll show you what I mean quick. Yeah, well, he takes care of that tree. I'll take you over and show you these tracks. Cold this morning, 14. Glad I got that connection done on Thanksgiving Day on in our other woods. All right, here's these otter tracks. They came through here last night sometime. I wish the sun was out. You can see it a little bit better. Sorry, hard time talking. It's cold. But you can see where he's skidded up through here in the snow on his belly. Pretty cool, I think. You don't see those every day. All right, we're back on this side tying. We're getting into the thick part of the swamp now. It's gonna be tough. So I'll show you how we kind of set these lines. So I don't have like a, one of those like rangefinder slope level thingies you look through. So I use my level, which is a digital percent slope level. It's pretty sweet. So right now, if you look at that, it's showing that we're 1.9%, just about 2% pitch, and a 4 foot level is about 4 foot long. So what I do is I just slide this right down the line, down the wire as we go, and try to maintain that same percentage as we go. 2% it's a decent amount. It's not great, but you know, you try to get as much pitch as you can, but this is so flat in here, this is about all we can get. So basically start on the uphill side of this where you got your most pitch, and you just slowly work this down, and we'll work all the way to the pump house. So we have our ratchets out, and what we do, we pull it back and we side tie it to the tree right at the percentage we want. We can adjust it on a tree up or down with our tie back to get the pitch we want. So, but the key is it has to be tight, because once the sap fills up in these lines, like here's the old line right here, they get heavy, and even just when you mount that pipe to the line, it gets heavy. So it's going to want to pull down on the line a little bit. So the tighter you get this, the better you are. So that's how we do it. We got it all side tied 1,000 feet all the way down here to the pump house behind me. So now we got to cut every single one of these wire ties off this main that's on the,
I'm not putting them back on.
on the old line. Yeah, you are. See these things every 10 inches apart? All the way up through there for 1,000 feet, we got to cut all these off. Then I can cut this mainline pipe somewhere it's about halfway, and then we can fish one section down and the other section up, bring it back together right underneath the new wire that we just put up. So that's the goal now, just cut wire ties for the next hour or two. You better pick up the pace.
Yeah, right.
At that speed, we'll be here all night.
Don't worry, I'll get it when you go to work. When you pretend you're working, I'll get everything done.
We just finished for the day. I got a couple things I got to do. We made it about almost halfway back up through pulling the wire ties off. So the next time we come in here, we'll finish pulling the wire ties off. I think Dad might do that Monday when I go back to work. But next order of business, get the wire ties off, and then we'll cut this main line someplace halfway, and we'll drag it around, and we'll get it lined up underneath this new high tensile line that we put up. So thanks for watching.